What up, though? Welcome back to the second episode of Game Film Life. Game Film Life? We're working on it. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get there. But if you tuning in the day after the first episode, I appreciate you coming back. Bear with me, like when we make this journey with me. It's only gonna keep getting better, I promise. But I appreciate that you showed back up. So today, episode 2, what I want to jump into is fans of TV shows, more specifically loyal fans. See me, I'm a loyal fan, right? You grew up in Detroit, you've been a fan of the Lions your whole life, and for most of that life, it wasn't great. It wasn't great to be a Lions fan. Now we got some highlights though. You know what I'm saying? Barry Sanders, best running back ever. Calvin Johnson, Megatron, one of the top receivers ever. And now people finally putting some respect on Stafford's name, like calling him a Hall of Famer after he spent all of those years here with us. Shout out to Jared Goff. I'm a loyal fan. I ride for my team. But yeah, man, I'm a loyal fan. And last year, you know what it reminded me of last year? It reminded me of like fans of The Wire, right? Like, for those who don't know about The Wire, man, it's considered one of the best dramas ever written for television. For my money, is number one. That's just me, but some of the writing just feels really authentic. Like it speaks to you. It's almost like poetry, but it's like super authentic. But I don't know if everybody realizes that The Wire, man, almost every season, like, didn't know if they was gonna get picked back up. Like the ratings was low when it first started. A lot of the critics said it was too complex. This doesn't work for a wide audience. It really didn't have any flashy stars. To really appreciate The Wire, like, you had to stay patient with it. Like, your patience was rewarded, but you had to stay patient with it. The writers had to stay patient. Like, people that signing up for it had to stay patient. Like, so, but it really didn't, pick up that steam until later and become the like classic that it is currently considered. So, you had to stick with it. That really reminds me of the Lions, man. Like, that's the Lions, especially last year, right? So last year, I love it when we were on our run and people were getting surprised by how good we actually are and how far we was going and everything. You started hearing, hey, we really America's team. Not that other team that's out in Dallas, like, we really America's team. And I welcomed it. Like, come on, jump on the bandwagon now. I've been here and I'm staying here, but go ahead and jump on the wagon. Wow. But, some of the same things, some of the same parallels with The Wire, man, right? Like, we started off, low ratings. We're a bad franchise. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's really no national love. Like, we get to Thanksgiving Day. I actually remember on some of your favorite sports networks, they were saying the conversation would come up, should the Lions even stay on Thanksgiving? Like, that's how bad of a franchise that they considered us. It's like, yeah, we get that it's tradition, but should they stay on there? Like, I guess bad ratings. Like, you know what I'm saying? We was a bad franchise. I mentioned, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, what they got in common, they both quit early. Like, they were still arguably in their prime with more years to come. Barry would have, in my opinion, he would have smashed the all-time rushing record, but, he quit. He stopped. Like, he stopped. We also made Calvin Johnson stop. They was like, yo, the franchise was just run very poorly. Like, we were a bad franchise. But we made we changed the front office. We got a new GM. We quietly started building something here. We brought in Dan Campbell. Like, we brought him in, and even when we brought him in, I gotta admit it. I don't know if I was all the way bought in when he was doing the we gonna bite your kneecap stuff and we just gonna be we gonna be grittier than everybody else. I was like, that's what everybody say when they come in. What we gonna do on the field, my guy? But I promise you, I'll run through a wall for Dan Campbell right now myself. Like, I mean, I got a bad back and some bad knees, but you hear what I'm saying. Like, that's my guy now. So we was quietly forming this culture of grit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this Detroit culture. If you know, right? But, it really became kind of cliche for everybody to jump on the Detroit bandwagon. Now you hear people, we got our fans, even in some of those media spaces, people really ride for the Lions. And even after this season and that didn't go the way we want, there's not people like, you got some that saying our window was already closed, but you got people that saying like, I don't know, man, like with a tweak here, tweak there, the Lions gonna be right back there. We just picked up a new offensive coordinator. I'll save what I think about that. I'm gonna get a boy a chance. Like, I don't know, like it's not exactly what I thought we were gonna do, but I get a guy a chance and we'll see. I see people roasting him, but I ain't gonna join in. But now everybody calling us gritty. That's a Detroit style, and people. Dan Campbell wasn't the first to do it, but he's known for going for it on fourth down, and now the whole league is going for it on fourth down. You know what I'm saying? Like, Detroit didn't become America's team simply because we were trendy. Like, we was America's team because people finally slowed down to appreciate the substance that we was building. And that's The Wire. Like, I think that's the perfect connect, like The Wire. Like, when people finally slowed down, really watched The Wire, saw the grittiness, the realness. A lot of the actors in The Wire weren't even really actors. They were people from Baltimore. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a parallel to me, man. Like, we are The Wire. And so, like, I guess the transitive property, if we are The Wire, we're the greatest team ever. Don't worry about it. You get what I'm trying to say. You know who is another fan base that's very loyal? The Buffalo Bills. And they also remind me of a different show that has a very loyal fan base as well, who also may consider this show one of the best dramas ever made, and that's Breaking Bad, right? Like, the Bills are more relate to Breaking Bad to me. Breaking Bad was also kind of a slow burn, right? Like, it took character development and it really exploded late. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, the pace of the shows are slow and you gotta watch and pay attention, and it's a slow burn, but then and again, I agree, this became one of my favorite shows to watch. Like, that's the Bills, like, and specifically, not just the Bills, like, we know about their history, 4 Super Bowls with no wins, but like the modern day Bills and Josh Allen specifically reminds me of Breaking Bad, where, Josh Allen started off like rocky early, like he was a raw talent and it was rocky. He had to build his football character. You know what I'm saying? Like he was throwing a lot of picks in the beginning, was, a little bit too much of a gunslinger. But then, he's built his character over time. He cut out a lot of that, but then he still have that dynamic ability. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he really has brought the team to another level. Still hasn't quite reached that Super Bowl level. Man, wouldn't that have been great last year? Like, everybody was rooting for a Lions-Bills Super Bowl last year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would have just, two franchises that's kind of like just, parallel each other. Like, it would have been like having, The Wire versus Breaking Bad in the Super Bowl. That would have been great, man. So then that takes me to the other side of this coin, right? Give me 1 second. The other side of this coin, you got loyal fans that stay loyal to their team, stay loyal to their show, even if the rest of us is like, y'all kind of garbage now. I don't want to call y'all garbage, but like, y'all kind of garbage now. And if you haven't figured out who I'm talking about yet, like, it's them Cowboys, man. Them Cowboys fans are super loyal. One of my homeboys, he won't stop about every year. It's the Cowboys year. No matter who they get, no matter what happens, like, he think it's the Cowboys year. Like, until they, like, even after they're eliminated mathematically, somehow he still think that they're gonna make it, man. Like, you know who the Cowboys remind me of? The Walking Dead, pun intended, like, because they literally like The Walking Dead. Like, you know what? I gotta admit, what was that? Back in the 90s, Troy Aikman and them, the Cowboys was actually nice, especially when they got Dion. Like, I used to kind of mess with the Cowboys. I was more of a Niners fan. To be a Lions fan, you have to adopt teams sometimes. Like, you gotta adopt players and teams, and you know what I'm saying? Like, so, but, like, they was nice, man. They raw. It made sense why they was like America team. The star meant something and everything. But they haven't been good for a long time, but they still like always in the news, make the big money, still putting out a meh product. That's The Walking Dead. Again, show that when it started, exploded quick. Like everybody loved The Walking Dead. They got me on it. I was like, oh, let me see what everybody's talking about. I was like, oh, I kind of like this show. It's really good. Like, the zombies, the characters. I'm like, I'm riding with Rick. I want to see what Rick do. You know what I'm saying? But it hasn't been good for a long time. But if you go check, they're still making new episodes, new spinoffs and stuff for The Walking Dead to this day. I didn't know because I'm not plugged in like that no more. And the fan base is still really loyal to them, even though, should they be? Like, again, so the parallels, man, they started off strong, like both, like The Walking Dead and the Cowboys, started off strong early, but really past their prime, but still going, and the fans are still loyal to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's I just don't get it, man. Like, but like everything, you can find all of these parallels in sports, and TV, movie, and films, but it always gonna have some kind of life tie-in, right? Like for me, what makes me think is like, the most overrated things aren't necessarily bad. They're just judged by their past and can't escape it, like like the Cowboys and Walking Dead. It's not just sports and entertainment. It's how culture treats anything that's peaked or is peaking loudly, right? Like, soon as something is really popular, everybody is on it, especially in society today. We can't wait to start almost waiting for its decline. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see it in, music, you see it in musical artists, you see it in, actors at their top. You see it in, the top quarterbacks. Like, this year I heard so much Lamar Jackson slander this year because he didn't have a year that is, up to par of what he's been doing the last several years. And then, every quarterback gotta win the Super Bowl to cement their legacy, but only one team can win the Super Bowl every year. Like, so does that mean that they really wasn't a good quarterback? Like, was Dan Marino not a good quarterback because he never got a Super Bowl? Now that Stafford got a Super Bowl and, probably having an MVP season, probably will be named the MVP of this season. Now he's a Hall of Famer, but he was putting up, 5,000 yards with the Lions, even though we were losing. To me, it's not a mistake that Matthew Stafford has some of the all-time, each receiver that's had the biggest yards in a game or some of the best seasons, about half of those are when Matthew Stafford is your quarterback. Cooper Kupp, yeah, he was a good little receiver before Matthew Stafford, but with Matthew Stafford, he had one of the best receiver years ever. Then right after that, Puka Nacua, who wasn't even, highly touted coming out of college, is now considered either the first or second best receiver in the league. Calvin Johnson, 300-yard game with Megatron putting up all these numbers. The common denominator is Matthew Stafford was throwing that pass to everybody. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it just changes your perception of them, of when you peak, how you peak, what you're doing when you're doing it, and whether you're considered great or not, right? Like, so that's the tie-in to life, man. But this is fun, man. Like, stay with me. Stay with me. I'm gonna have more episodes going. They're gonna get a little longer. Like I mentioned before, I'm gonna start inviting some of my friends and we can have like a dialogue back and forth, get some of that. Like, if you have anything that, like, of course I missed a whole bunch of stuff, but if you have anything that resonates with you of, yeah, like this, I'm a loyal fan base and my team reminds me of this movie, reminds me of this franchise, throw it in the comments and I'm going to read it all. If you think I'm shitty, throw that in the comments. I'm going to read it. It ain't going to bother me. If you like what I'm doing and you want me, you got some suggestions on how I can make this a little better, let me know. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have more segments, man. It's going to get more fun, man. I'm going to do some things, but I'm getting going. I'm just learning here, man. Like a bunch of people said, shout out to Kev on stage. Like, my algorithm been throwing him in my face over and over, motivating me. Like, I just saw a clip of him saying, like, man, I don't feel like making video every day, something to that effect. And like, and I hear you, man. I don't always get super spiritual, but I hear when somebody tells me, like, just press record, Corey, like, get going. So I got to keep going, man. And I'm gonna be more consistent. I'm gonna try to, like, record more stuff. I'm gonna post these things, man. Like, look for me on all of the channels, man. Like, all of the stuff, all the socials, Game Film Life, on all of the socials. I'm gonna be dropping clips, man. I'm gonna be trying to drop more episodes, and like I said, it's just gonna get better as we go. Stick with your boy. What up, though? The Pistons won again. What up, though? Y'all stay up. All right.